Combat ran for 5 seasons and 152 episodes, turning 9 familiar faces into part of America's television memory. 64 years later, 7 are gone, 2 are still listed as living, and several followed paths that even lifelong fans may never have known. Stay with us, because the 2 surviving cast members may surprise you. For many of us, Combat did not begin in occupied France. It began in a living room where we sat near a black and white television while our parents watched from the couch. We remember the opening music, the German soldiers speaking German, Saunders carrying his Thompson, and Kirby holding the bar that many children simply called Kirby's gun. The following day, backyards became battlefields, and brothers, cousins, and neighborhood friends became members of the squad. Vic Morrow was 33 when he became Sergeant Chip Saunders, the watchful leader whose tired eyes seemed to notice danger before anyone else. Saunders was not a polished hero who always appeared fearless. He looked exhausted because he understood that one wrong decision could cost another man his life. That burden made him believable, and it made us trust him just as the squad did. Morrow had already drawn attention as the rebellious Artie West in Blackboard Jungle, but Combat gave him the role that would follow him for the rest of his life. He also directed episodes, including the celebrated 2-part story, Hills Are for Heroes, which showed the human cost of repeatedly sending tired soldiers toward an almost impossible objective. After the series, Morrow appeared in The Bad News, Bears Roots, and other productions. He died during a tragic film set accident in 1982 at only 53, but many of us still remember him first as the man walking at the front of the patrol. Jack Hogan made PFC William Kirby one of the most human members of the squad. Kirby complained, questioned orders, and frequently looked as though the latest mission was the worst idea he had ever heard. Yet when his friends needed him, he moved forward with the heavy bar in his hands. Hogan had served in the Air Force before becoming an actor, and his expressive face gave Kirby a personality that went far beyond his dialogue. He could show fear, irritation, loyalty, and courage with a single look. After Combat, Hogan continued acting and later worked in casting. He died peacefully at his Bainbridge Island home in 2023 at the age of 94. Pierre Jalbert played PFC Paul Cage LeMay, whose name longtime fans remember is pronounced like Cage. Cage was the French-speaking scout who often moved ahead of the squad, reading the road and speaking with civilians. Jalbert carried himself with unusual balance because before Hollywood, he had been one of Canada's leading skiers. He was selected to captain Canada's alpine team for the 1948 Winter Olympics, but an injury shortly before the Games ended his chance to compete. Instead of allowing that unfinished dream to define him, he moved into filmmaking, first behind the camera and then in front of it. After appearing in 115 episodes of Combat, Jalbert returned to editing and sound work. He also shared a marriage of more than 5 decades with his wife, Joy. He died in 2014 at 89, leaving behind the memory of a quiet scout who always seemed to be watching the road ahead. Conlin Carter became the second and best-known Doc, appearing in 66 episodes. His performance in The Hostages earned him an Emmy nomination in 1964. After acting, Carter followed a very different calling and built a second career in aviation. The medic who once moved toward wounded soldiers eventually exchanged television sets for real cockpits. Dick Peabody stood 6 feet 6 inches tall, but Little John became one of the gentlest men in the squad. His warmth was especially memorable beside young Billy Nelson, whom he often treated like a younger brother. Peabody had served as a Navy electronics technician before entering radio, television, and acting. Later, he moved to the small California community of Camino and wrote a local newspaper column called Peabody's Place. He died in 1999 at 74. Hollywood may have noticed his height first, but viewers remembered his kindness. Tom Lowell was only 21 when he played Billy Nelson, the youngest and most innocent face in the squad. Billy looked like someone who had been taken from an ordinary American neighborhood and placed into a war he was not yet ready to understand. His friendship with Little John gave the series moments of warmth between stories of danger and loss. Lowell later appeared in Disney films such as That Darn Cat and The Gnome Mobile. He eventually left regular acting and devoted much of his later life to theater and education, following the example of his parents, who had also been teachers. Before we continue, tell us where Combat first became part of your life. Did you watch it with your parents, your brothers and sisters, or friends from the neighborhood? Those memories are part of what has kept the series alive for 64 years. Shecky Greene played Private Braddock during the first season, but television represented only a small part of his remarkable career. By the time he entered the series, Greene was already a major Las Vegas entertainer. In 1956, a young Elvis Presley opened for him at the New Frontier. Greene returned to live comedy after leaving Combat and remained a celebrated performer for decades. He found lasting companionship with Marie Musso, whom he married in 1985. Greene died at home in Las Vegas on the final day of 2023 at the age of 97. Stephen Rogers was the original Doc during the first season. At 25, he portrayed the medic as younger and more vulnerable than the version Conlin Carter later created. Rogers left after one season, and the series never explained Doc Walton's disappearance on screen. Although his time with the squad was brief, longtime fans still remember that Combat had two very different medics. Rogers died in 2004. Rick Jason played Lieutenant Gil Hanley, the calm officer who shared leadership of the series with Vic Morrow. Standing 6 feet 4 inches tall and speaking with measured authority, Jason brought dignity to the man who had to study the map and send soldiers toward dangers he could not always control. Before acting, Jason served in the Army Air Corps and later studied under the GI Bill. After Combat, he continued working internationally, appeared in television series, including Dallas and Murder, She Wrote, and eventually operated a wine storage business. He remained close to the fans who had followed Hanley across 5 seasons. In 1998, he welcomed dozens of them into his home, and in 2000, he published his autobiography and attended a Combat reunion in Las Vegas. Rick Jason died later that year after facing private difficulties. For many fans, the image worth carrying forward is not his final chapter, but the reunion where he once again stood among the castmates and viewers who had never forgotten him. After 64 years, public biographical records currently list only 2 members of this group as living: Conlin Carter, born in 1934, and Tom Lowell, born in 1941. Both stepped away from regular screen acting and built quieter lives beyond Hollywood. Their stories remind us that one famous role never contains the whole person. One actor became a pilot, another became a teacher, one returned to editing, Another wrote for a small community, and one went back to the Las Vegas stage where audiences already knew his name. Time changed their lives, and it changed ours as well. When we watch Combat today, we are not only returning to Saunders, Handley, Kirby, KG, Doc, Little John, and Billy. We are returning to the room where we first met them and to the people who once sat beside us. The television may have been black and white, but the memories were never colorless. Tell us which member of the squad you remember most and who first watched Combat with you. For more stories about Hollywood's classic actors and the familiar faces who shaped generations of film and television, visit our channel and keep watching the next videos.